Thrown out at 16. Now they want my forgiveness 30 years later. Hey Reddit, eyes plus here. Let me take you back to when my world started to unravel. I was just 12 when my mom passed away from breast cancer. That left just my dad and me. It was rough, no question, but we managed to push through those dark days together. When I turned 14, my dad remarried a woman named Ashley. Along with her came 2 kids, Mark, also 14, and Emily, who was 12. I didn't have any issues bonding with Ashley or Emily. But Mark, that was a different story. We clashed constantly, arguing, fighting, never seeing eye to eye. My dad kept asking me to cut Mark some slack, saying he had to step up as man of the house before Ashley married Dad. As if I hadn't been forced to grow up fast myself. At 15, I met Lisa at school. We hit it off and started dating. What I didn't know at the time was that Mark had feelings for her too, and he didn't handle it well. He got angry, picked a fight with me, and my dad had to break it up. Somehow, I ended up being blamed for it all. Then, just after my 16th birthday, everything imploded. One afternoon, Ashley was putting away my laundry when she suddenly began screaming. Lisa was visiting, so we both rushed to my room in a panic, thinking something terrible had happened. Ashley was holding several pairs of Emily's underwear in her hands, apparently found in my drawer. I was completely stunned. I had no idea how they got there. But no one believed me. No matter how hard I tried to explain that I hadn't done anything, it didn't matter. Then Mark stepped in. He claimed he'd caught me looking at Emily in a weird way and even said he overheard me talking about wanting to marry her. Total lies, but that was all it took. Lisa slapped me across the face, called me disgusting, and stormed out of my life without another word. My dad didn't hesitate. He grabbed my arm, dragged me to the front door, and shoved me outside. He told me he wouldn't risk his daughter's safety around a pervert. That wasn't the word he used, but you get the idea. I pounded on the door, begging to be let back in, crying, pleading with them to believe me. I told them it was all Mark's doing. My dad opened the door only to push me to the ground and tell me to disappear. I said I had nowhere to go. His response: "That's not my problem." Then he slammed the door in my face. And just like that, I was homeless. I called my grandparents on my dad's side, thinking they'd help. But he'd already poisoned the well. They told me they wouldn't support someone like me. My mom's parents had passed before I was born. I was completely on my own. I survived on the streets for 2 years. I did what I had to, and I won't sugarcoat it. No teenager should ever have to do the things I did just to get through each day. Some of those memories are things I had to work through later in life with a lot of therapy. After I turned 18, I moved to another state and found work at a boxing gym. It was a turning point. I stayed there for years, learning everything about the sport. I was no Mike Tyson, but I got pretty good. The training helped me deal with all the pent-up rage and bitterness. Then, when I was 35, I met Amy at a small cafe near the gym. She was 20 at the time. Yes, a big age difference, but we instantly clicked. I never believed in soulmates or destiny, but if those things are real, we had it. We dated for 2 years and eventually got married. Her dad was an electrician and brought me on as part of his team. I suspect part of it was to make sure his daughter would be taken care of and partly to keep an eye on me. He never said that outright, but now that I'm a father, I understand where he was coming from. 15 years later, Amy and I are still going strong. We've got 4 amazing daughters, and I recently passed my master electrician's license. That never would have happened if Amy hadn't pushed me to get my GED. She's been my rock, my motivator, and my anchor through it all. I can't say enough about how much she's changed my life. I love her beyond words. Then, just last weekend, I got an email out of the blue. It was from Emily, my stepsister. I have no idea how she got my email, but that's not too hard to figure out with today's technology. I'm 53 now, and it's been over 30 years since I've heard from any of them. The message was long, so I won't share every word, but the core of it? They finally know the truth. Apparently, Mark was out drinking with some buddies and started bragging. He thought it was hilarious to admit he planted Emily's underwear in my drawer and lied about everything. He even said he stole my girlfriend out of spite. Yeah, you guessed it. Mark and Lisa got married years ago. And they all laughed while my life fell apart. I was ranting like a madman on the street, saying cruel, bitter things, completely unaware that Lisa was nearby. She heard everything. Afterward, she contacted Emily and told her what she'd just witnessed. Emily spent the whole weekend tracking me down. The email she sent was long and emotional, but the main point was clear. She wanted to meet in person, to apologize, and to try to rebuild what was lost. As for me, I feel neutral. Not angry, not excited. I don't harbor any resentment toward Emily, not anymore. Therapy taught me how to let go of all that rage and bitterness years ago. My life is full. My wife, our daughters, and even my in-laws fill my world with the kind of love I never thought I'd have. I'm seriously considering just deleting the email, pretending it never arrived, and moving forward. My wife, though, she thinks I should at least reply. Maybe with a sarcastic line like, "Glad you finally believe me, only took 3 decades." She has a wonderfully wicked sense of humor, and honestly, she's incredible. Emily's letter. Hey, it's Emily, your stepsister. Writing this feels surreal, like trying to reach across a lifetime. I don't know if you'll even read this, and I'd understand if you don't. But I need to say a few things I should have said years ago. First, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I never reached out. I let Mark and Dad fill my head with lies and paint you as someone you weren't. Over time, their stories became my truth. And slowly, I began to believe them. I kept thinking maybe you'd come back, that we'd talk and clear things up. But as the years went on, their words only got louder, and the version of you they fed me turned into someone I didn't recognize. Eventually, I convinced myself you were the villain. The part that hurts most? Deep down, I always thought of you as my brother. And yet, I allowed myself to hate you based on lies. I never asked for your side. And for that, I'll never forgive myself. A lot has changed since you left. I got married. You're technically an uncle now. Mom and Dad are still together and looking forward to retirement. Mark and Lisa also got married, though they never had kids. But everything I believed was shattered last Friday. Lisa overheard Mark drunk and bragging with his buddies about how he set you up, how he framed you, and how he convinced all of us to turn against you. They laughed about it. Laughed about the damage. About the lies. About you. She told me everything. And when she did, my entire world collapsed. I never imagined how horribly wrong I'd been. Lisa's devastated too. We both are. When we told Mom and Dad, Dad broke down. Full-on tears. I've never seen him cry like that. I think he's been living with the guilt for years, even if he never admitted it out loud. My response to Emily. I'm grateful you reached out. That said, I have to be honest. What happened back then left deep, lasting wounds. Betrayal from your own family cuts deeper than anything else. And while I can appreciate that you finally learned the truth and are genuinely remorseful, the damage that was done can't simply be undone. The years I spent abandoned, shamed, and left to fend for myself left scars that therapy helped me manage, but they'll never completely heal. It's taken me a long time to build a life that's safe, peaceful, and full of love, and none of that was because of the people who once called themselves my family. I don't feel hatred anymore. But I also don't feel the need to reconnect. I'm happy now. I found my place, with people who didn't abandon me, lie about me, or silence me. That healing didn't come from reconciliation. It came from removing toxic roots and planting new ones. Forgiveness is a powerful thing. But it's also a personal journey. one that I'm still on. I'm not ready to reopen wounds I worked so hard to close. I hope your life brings you peace. But please understand, I won't be part of it. And I ask that you respect that. Please pass this along to the rest of the family, and don't try to reach out again. I'm choosing to move forward, and not look back.